Okay, welcome back to Supernova Labs. I wanted to talk today about leadership and what leadership means to me, because I know that it's one of those things that's completely subjective. But I think there's quite a lot of problems around the world that stem from a misunderstanding of leadership as it should work versus leadership how it's learned. And I think I want to just go through my view of it, and you can make your own opinion off the basis of that. So, for me, leadership is fundamentally about service, and it's also about leading from the front. If you've got somebody behind you telling you to do X, Y, and Z, that's just a boss. And I guess the fundamental behind this is, I think there are a lot of people nowadays in positions of power, specifically because the systems that they can exploit to get there aren't incentivizing better behaviour. You end up with people that have, on the whole, bigger egos, more bravado, more overconfidence in everything they do. Because people look up to that, and historically, you'd look to, I think it's especially in times when things are particularly uncertain, it's very easy to look to people that have strong figures that act as strong leaders and be like, that's the person I want to get behind because this person knows what they're talking about. Whereas in fact, that in some cases that might be fine, because they may have strong personalities, be strong characters, but also have some foundations in how to manage that power and how to manage that influence. But for the most part, I think a lot of people end up in those positions of power and have no idea how to manage the responsibility and have studied an ethical foundation enough to utilize that power responsibly. And oftentimes it just ends up with people being like, well, do you know what, I've got this power now, why don't I just make it work for me? Because I've gone through all of this shit before now, now I'm in a position of power, let's just flex and make this work for me. And I think this is misguided for a couple of reasons. One, when it comes to power, right? Power is much better when utilised with other people. I think it's very easy, especially over in the West, where we've not really experienced much else. Power systems are very much power over hierarchical structures. And there are places for that. I'm not saying that flat leadership structures work as well. It's normally a balance of both. But typically what I've found is, especially when things are just starting out and trying to grow, is that power with other people, where you're enabling them and you're supporting them regardless of the fact that they may be competing with you, or they may be what they may grow into competing with you, you end up with more overall to work with. So calling back to the analogy I was talking about yesterday when I was saying growing the, like, instead of like trying to like snatch all the pie for ourselves, right? Grow the pie, and oftentimes you will end up with the same amount you will have snatched all for yourself, but there's a whole other section of pie that's gone to another person as well. And this is the thing about abundance, right? Is that like all of the stuff we need, we already have. And when you accept that, it becomes a lot easier to be like, oh, okay, like this person is challenging me, or like, I don't know, like I feel challenged by what this person's doing. Whereas in fact, you can use that challenge to grow. Because like this is the what was it? It's like a Buddhist phrase I remember a while ago. Something about like I don't think this is the exact phrase, but like trees and plants grow against gravity, right? So there is always a force acting against growth, but it's necessary in order to grow. And I guess if I could say one thing to sum all this up, I'd probably just go over my view of leadership, and like I said I was going to go through this at the beginning, but now I'm just rambling again. There's a good quote from somebody: when a leader's work is done, the people will say they did it themselves. Now, you can take that however it arrives with you, but for me, the way that I see that is that like when you're in a position of leadership, right, it's almost as if like you don't exist. You like, I mean, a good leader shouldn't really exist in the minds of people from day to day, because you got to remove ego from it. Because without that, it always becomes about me or yourself or anything like that. So being able to step back and say, oh, well, what does this community actually need? And then work with people, like have conversations with people to provide that. That's, you end up enabling a better community as a result. Now, I know people that do this. I know people that don't do this. And I've seen it in communities from time and again, where communities almost end up like self-cannibalizing themselves because of like a perceived internal threat that doesn't exist, because everybody is on the same boat. Does that make sense? I hope so. I just believe in enabling people, man. Like, it's so important. Like, people have so much capability and power within themselves, and most of the time, people need so little encouragement to become, or to like at least start on the path of like completely actualizing all of their dreams. I just wish people would understand that and stop trying to control it. Stop trying to control things in general when really you just need to let go. Not like let go as in like, okay, hands off. Let go as in let go of wanting a specific result, because that is the primary blocker to forming an effective action that might not even be intuitive in that situation. That might end up with a better result. There's so much good work to be done. And there's very few reasons to fight when we do exist in a world of abundance. We already have everything we need. The trick is just to find it, build it. And with that, thank you very much for your time. Have a good night.